Hello and welcome back to 365 Days with mxmtoon. I am Maia, a singer, songwriter, video maker, Oakland native, and rock collector. Kind of. Mostly just photos of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm also a huge fan of history. I love untold stories, gross facts, hidden secrets, and anything weird, dark, and funky from the past. Each day, I'm going to share one of my favorite deep cuts with you, so let's take a look at today's stories.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 365 mxmtoon.
On this day, almost 2,000 years ago, a massive volcano called Mount Vesuvius erupted and within 24 hours buried an entire city beneath almost 20 feet of ash. The city, Pompeii, was frozen in time beneath the ashes and all but forgotten for 1,700 years. Empires rose and fell while the ancient city remained untouched. Then, in 1748, an architect excavating a site for a new palace found something unusual as he dug into the earth. An entire city, perfectly preserved in ash. Let's reverse. Pompeii was an ancient Roman city across the bay from the modern city of Naples on the Mediterranean Ocean. It was a flourishing town with lavish homes and buildings, bustling public squares, and a rich aristocracy. Because Pompeii is on the water, it became a key part of trade routes going to nearby Rome. The wealthy elites in Rome would summer in Pompeii and the nearby luxury resort town, Herculaneum. I guess you could say they were kind of like the Hamptons of ancient Rome. The citizens of Pompeii were familiar with earthquakes and volcanoes. Mount Vesuvius had erupted in the past, and the cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum often experienced small tremors or earthquakes. To explain these events, Roman myths blamed angry or warring gods. Roman spirituality worshipped roughly 12 main gods and countless demigods and spirits. The Roman god of volcanoes was called Vulcan, and yes, that's actually where we get the word volcano from. Vulcan was the god of fire, heat, metalworking, and the forge. And fun fact, in some myths, Vulcan is married to a nymph goddess named Maia. Maia was the goddess of springtime, warmth, and growth. Historians believe that the Romans connected the two because both controlled heat. Maia brought it on gently in spring, while Vulcan would bring it raining down in a volcano. In a pretty crazy twist of irony, the day the Romans celebrated Vulcan was August 23rd. Yep, that's the day before Vesuvius erupted. So the citizens of Pompeii may have been feasting and offering gifts to the god of volcanoes the day before a volcano destroyed their city. Yikes. Vulcan. Come on, man. So what exactly happened in Pompeii on that fateful day in 79 AD? Well, first, about a decade before the eruption, a massive earthquake shook the foundations of the city and demolished entire neighborhoods. Most modern geologists believe that the earthquake was simply the first rumblings of the coming eruption, signaling a disaster bubbling up beneath the earth. Sadly, though, the Romans just didn't know that, so no one was expecting it when on August 24th, the top of Mount Vesuvius exploded. On the first day of the eruption, ash and pumice stones started spewing down on the city. A Roman historian, Pliny the Younger, described the plumes of smoke and ash as looking like a fiery tree with branches of deadly gases rising into the air. Pumice is that porous volcanic rock that people use to soften their feet. Imagine pumice stones the size of tennis balls raining from the sky and clouds of dust dumping ash faster than falling snow. For a long time, archaeologists believed that it was this ash that killed the people in Pompeii. We now know that isn't true. On the first day of the explosion, as ash and rocks decimated the city, thousands of people actually evacuated. Only about 2,000 people stayed, most likely the ones who were too poor to have anywhere to go, servants or slaves. Sadly, as we've learned from the COVID-19 pandemic, it's usually the poor who are hurt the most by natural disasters. On the second day, death rolled down the mountain into Pompeii. Okay, actually, it was just a heavy rolling cloud of ash and toxic gas. Historians now believe that it was the burning poisonous gas that killed everyone in the city instantly, burning their lungs from the inside. Sorry, that was super gruesome. Once the gas killed everyone, 20 feet of ash blanketed the city, leaving it frozen in this horrible moment for the next few hundred years. When excavators found it almost 2,000 years later, the ash had solidified around the dead in the exact shape of their bodies in their final moments. Even though the bodies decayed, the ash stayed in that original shape, like a shell. Archaeologists came up with a way to pour plaster into those gaps, recreating the shape of the bodies. The devastating tragedy of Pompeii has given us a unique and ironically pretty undamaged glimpse into what life was like in a typical ancient Roman city. You can still visit and see the artifacts, houses, and people. Crazily enough, Mount Vesuvius is still an active volcano. The last time Mount Vesuvius erupted in the modern day world was 1944. 26 civilians died and 12,000 were displaced, right in the middle of World War II. If you're as fascinated by volcanoes as I am, stay tuned for an August 27th episode of this podcast about the biggest volcano in recorded history. Now, let's talk about music. On this day in 2019, Billie Eilish's song Bad Guy became the #1 song in the US, knocking off the incredible 19-week run by Lil Nas X's Old Town Road. Eilish co-wrote and co-produced the song with her longtime music partner and brother, Phineas. In the lyrics, the 17-year-old Eilish flipped the dominant culture narrative of men asserting sexual dominance and took control for herself. She's sarcastic, ironic, and taunting, in all the right ways. The production is minimalistic and unique, using synth bass, a kick drum, 808 bass, amplified snaps, and even a phone recording she took of a traffic stop in Sydney. The song would go on to win both Record of the Year and Song of the Year at the Grammys. These and other awards help cement Eilish as a generational icon and a true innovator in the music world. And now for today's final segment, I'll be going back into my own photo archives to see what I was up to on an August 24th in my life. On August 24th, 2019, I painted more ukuleles. I was selling these was I selling them? I think I was selling them. I was selling ukuleles that I did like a little collaboration with Fender where they sent me like a bunch of soprano ukuleles and I painted all of them and then people like purchased them online and didn't know what they were going to get, and hopefully all of my designs, if you got one of those ukuleles, because they did sell out, I hope you like it. I had a lot of fun painting them. On this day I did like a bunch of cloud scenes and I also did like bamboo shoots, and I had a lot of fun with it. I really enjoy being able to do visual arts and it was fun getting to incorporate it into my day-to-day work life. Thanks for going back in time with me, and remember to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Come back tomorrow for more stories from the past.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 365